Third one is 1C. You should see that we cannot plug in 3 to this expression without getting something that's undefined. I would get a 0 in the bottom. Boom, that's a problem. So, what, and actually get 0. Do I get 0 over 0? Do I get 0 in the top? It would be 9 square root of, yep, I would get 0 over 0. Even more problem. Anyway, so I need to do what's called rationalizing this. I am going to multiply both sides by what we call the conjugate pair. When I say the conjugate pair, what I mean is, let me just keep moving. So square root of x plus 6 plus 3. Sorry about that there. Over square root x plus 6 plus 3. So what I mean when I say multiply by the conjugate pair, basically, if this is a limit the best way to deal with these things when I can't get the square root, when I can't plug it in and I have the square root here, is to take this guy and just change the sign of that. So we're going to make that a plus, which I did here, and you should see that that's exactly the same thing. This in red is exactly the same thing as I have there. And what's going to happen is it's going to help us get rid of this guy, and it's going to make it so that things cancel. If the problem is doable this way. You know I didn't write limit as x approaches, 3, and I need to make sure that I do this, and you need to make sure that you do that. So this is the limit as x approaches 3 of, I'm going to actually do the workout here, and you should see what happens. So I'm going to multiply this by this. Well, that's a square root x plus 6 squared. So that gives me x plus 6. That's the first term I get out. Next thing I'm going to do is this by that, right there. That gives me plus 3 root x plus 6. Then I'm going to do this. Right? It's just like FOILing. It's like x plus 4 times x minus 8. I just look at all the terms, and these are just more complicated version of that. So right now I would be doing the equivalent of this being multiplied. So I'm multiplying these two. That's this. So that gives me, and notice that there's a minus sign there. So minus 3 root x plus 6. Continue on. And then my last term is to multiply this guy by this guy, which is the equivalent of multiplying 4 by negative 8 in a more simple looking problem. So that gives me negative 3 times positive 3, which is minus 9. Now you're like, oh my god, terrible. But look, actually let me just write the bottom out. So x minus 3, so I've got this times this. And I'm not going to distribute that yet, and you'll see why. Square root x plus 6 plus 3, like that. So I have this term and this term, and look, this is plus 3 blah, and this is minus 3, same blah. So they cancel each other out, which gives me only this piece and this piece in the top. So watch what happens as I simplify this. I get limit as x approaches 3, and remember, this is my problem. I want to get rid of that if I can. So I've got x plus 6 minus 9. Well, that gives me x, and then the 6 minus the 9, well, that gives me minus 3 over x minus 3 times square root of x plus 6 plus 3, like that. So Notice x minus 3, x minus 3. Well, they divide each other away. This guy divides out this guy, nothing left. Well, not one left. So that gives me, so as these guys cancel, I'm left with a 1 in the top, because that was 1 times that, right? So I get limit as x approaches 3 of 1 over square root x plus 6 plus 3, like that. Now notice, my initial problem was that I could not plug in 3 to this thing. And I continually had that problem all the way through until this step right here. Now I don't have that x minus 3 in the bottom, so I just can plug it in now. I'm just manipulating this thing, until it's doable with the 3. That's all I'm doing. So that now I can just plug in 3. I don't have to write the limit anymore because I'm actually plugging in that 3. So it's 1 over root 3 plus 6 plus another 3, which gives me 1 over, this is root 9, which is 3 plus 3, so that this guy went to that guy, and that gives me a final answer of 1/6. Boom. Done.